As women, moms, wives, and professionals, we often feel the pressure to be perfect, whether it's in our careers, our homes, or even in how we care for ourselves. And when we can't meet those unrealistic expectations, we carry a weight of guilt and shame that's hard to shake. But you know what? You don't have to live under that weight, and that's okay. We're going to unpack why we feel this way. Look at examples of how guilt and shame show up in our lives, and of course, share some actionable steps you can take to break free. Welcome to And That's Okay, the podcast where we explore the ups and downs of life and remind ourselves that whatever we're feeling, it's for a reason, and that's okay. I'm Lisa Renee Scott, your host and passionate believer that every feeling matters and every step forward counts. Each week, we'll dive into real-life challenges, share relatable experiences, and offer actionable steps to help you navigate through it all. Before we jump in, I want to remind you that I am not a licensed doctor or therapist. I'm here to share experiences and insights that have worked for me and others like me. First, let's talk about why so many women experience guilt and shame. It's often tied to the unrealistic expectations we place on ourselves or that society places on us. We're expected to be perfect in every role we play. The perfect mom who makes healthy meals, attends every school event, and still has time for play dates. The perfect wife who supports her partner, keeps the house in order, and manages to look great doing it. The perfect woman who excels in her career while balancing family life seamlessly. But here's the thing. No one can be perfect all the time. Yet, when we fall short, maybe when we miss a school event or skip out on a workout because we're exhausted, we feel like we're failing. We feel guilty for not measuring up and ashamed for not being able to do it all. And this guilt can be so consuming that it affects how we see ourselves and sometimes even how we show up in our relationships. Let me give you a relatable example. Imagine this. It's been a long week. You've been juggling work deadlines, taking care of the kids, running errands, and by Friday night, you are spent. You had planned to make a healthy dinner, but you are exhausted, so you order takeout instead. As soon as the food arrives, the guilt kicks in. You think, I should have cooked, I should have been more organized, I'm failing as a mom. Then the shame follows. What kind of mom doesn't have the energy to make dinner for her family? And this spiral happens more often than we'd like to admit. But here's the truth. Choosing takeout on a tough day doesn't make you a bad mom or wife. It makes you human. And that's okay. So let's reflect on that example for a few more moments. Where do these feelings of guilt and shame come from? Most of the time, they come from the unrealistic standards we set for ourselves. We believe that we should always do more and be more and give more. And when we fall short, we judge ourselves harshly. But guess what? We need to cut ourselves some slack. The truth is, no one can do it all the time. Guilt often stems from the belief that we aren't doing enough, while shame is more about a feeling like we aren't enough. And both of those feelings can be incredibly draining. But the good news is we can learn to manage them. And that's what today's action steps are all about. Now, let's get to the part that's really going to help. Specific, meaningful action steps that you can take to start breaking free from the pressures of being perfect. These steps are designed to be simple. They're designed to be actionable and easy to fit into your daily routine. I have 4 action steps for you. 1. Set realistic expectations for yourself. Take 5 minutes today to sit down and write out your top 3 priorities for the week. Focus on what needs to get done, not what you feel like you should be doing. Remind yourself that it's okay if not everything gets done perfectly. Prioritizing yourself and your mental health is just as important. Number 2, reframe your inner dialogue. The next time you catch yourself thinking, I'm not good enough, pause and reframe it. Instead of, I should have made dinner tonight, try, I've worked hard all week and tonight I'm choosing to give myself a break. And that's okay. Start practicing self-compassion with your own words. 3, build a letting go ritual. Each night, take a few minutes to reflect on something you felt guilty about during the day. Write it down in a journal, then literally let it go. Crumble up the paper, tear it up, throw it away. This small act of physically releasing the guilt helps remind you that you don't have to hold on to it forever. 4, create me time without guilt. Schedule 15 minutes of guilt-free time for yourself every day. Whether it's a quiet coffee break, a short walk, or just sitting and breathing, remind yourself that this time is for you, and taking it is not selfish, and that's okay. Let's recap the key points and action steps. 1. Set realistic expectations by focusing on just 3 priorities each week. Not everything needs to be perfect. 2. Reframe your inner dialogue. Replace self-criticism with self-compassion. You deserve kindness from yourself. 3. Build a letting go ritual. Physically letting go of the guilt each night. It's a reminder that guilt doesn't have to stay with you. And 4, create me time without guilt. Schedule just 15 minutes of personal time every day. This is your time to recharge guilt-free so you can show up for those that you love. Remember, guilt and shame are feelings that don't have to define you. They come from the pressures we place on ourselves, but we can challenge those pressures and let them go. You are doing your best, and that's more than enough. And if some days you fall apart, that's okay too. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of And That's Okay. I hope you found our discussion insightful and that you're leaving with some practical steps to apply in your own life. Remember, no matter what you're feeling or going through, you have feelings, and that's okay. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might benefit from today's topic. Until next week, take care and keep moving forward, one feeling, one step at a time.